Hello and welcome back to Soul Companion. And today I want to talk about the mindset shift that's required for you to skyrocket your business rather than staying where you are, barely getting off the ground and wondering what you're doing wrong. Now, one of the things that helps us elevate our business is mindset. And it's actually a huge part of success is our mindset. When we set strong intentions, we set in process a whole response from the universe to bring to us the opportunities that we need. And when you talk to the most successful entrepreneurs, they have 5 key characteristics in their mindset that create success. So the first one is they are action takers. They have a strong bias towards taking action. And instead of overthinking, procrastinating, tweaking their website, worrying about their branding, wondering if their new PDF freebie is absolutely perfect, they get it done. It might not be perfect, and they take action. So that's number one. Instead of overthinking, they take action. What they do is they throw something at the wall, and they might throw several things at the wall, and they will see what sticks. They won't worry about creating that one thing that must work. They'll create a few. I initially was a bit of an overthinker in my business. Everything had to be perfect. Was the freebie exactly right to, build my email list? I have actually several email lists, as you do, and several freebies, some more successful than the others. So it's a learning curve. The important thing is step one, take action. Just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. The second key mindset shift that you're going to want to get into to create success is to stop comparing yourself to other people. You are you, they are they. So instead of feeling that you don't measure up, perhaps you might be looking at successful people talking about their 6-figure months, their 7-figure years, and you're thinking, oh, why isn't it happening to me? What am I doing wrong? Stop comparing yourself or thinking that they've done that. There's no room for me. That idea is already taken. I'm a soul business coach. I work with the souls of business, but there are many spiritual business coaches out there, but we all have our own unique style, our own unique way of delivering, our own unique way of interacting with our clients. So don't think because somebody out there is doing it and maybe doing it better than you or more abundantly than you, that there isn't space for you to grow into that. And actually, by not comparing yourselves to others, you're much more able to sort of absorb inspiration from their success, because comparisonitis will often leave us feeling inadequate, and then we will go away and think, oh, I'm not going to do it then, I'm just going to stay here because it's all too challenging. Whereas you see the success of others as inspiring. If they can do it, so can you. There's absolutely nothing to stop you. And of course, the key mindset shift number 3 is resilience. It is not giving up no matter what. And I'm going to talk about this in another podcast when people say, oh, I'm feeling all this resistance. Everything's really hard. Is this resistance to something I need to overcome, to something I need to grow into? Or is this resistance the universe's way of telling me to hightail it out of there? You're going the wrong way. I'm putting up this wall in front of you to stop you making mistakes. I'm going to talk about that more in depth in next week's podcast. But what I want to talk about today is just resilience per se. I personally have had to develop a lot of resilience that has enabled me to grow the business that I have. I've made no secret about it that I was in an 11-year highly abusive marriage, and it took me 11 years to get out. I eventually fled with the help of the police, etc. And then it's taken me 8.5 years since that time to get divorced, which has only just happened. But in that time, I have built a business. I learned a lot of lessons from that experience about boundaries, about showing up, about not letting other people dictate to me, and all those kind of things. And also about, what abuse is, what was potentially, some of it was my responsibility, but also what wasn't. So there was a lot of learning in that, which built up my resilience. And I hadn't had an easy life before that. So there's a lot of resilience. There's no doubt about it. When you want to start and grow a business, there's never a good time. There's nothing ever just falls into place. Most people start their business, actually, if I'm brutally honest, out of desperation. they need a massive change in their life. They might have no money. I mean, I had no money, was practically homeless when I started my business. So, you know, everyone starts actually out of, a lot of people start out of desperation. And it's that sheer grit to know that I have to do this builds up your resilience. If I want to have a life that gives me time freedom, financial freedom, you know, all the things that we want without the hustle and the grind, we've got to get our nose down and keep on with it. That doesn't mean working 100 hours a week and never seeing your family. It just means there are going to be bumps in the road as we go along. And when you hit a bump, don't give up. It's just a bump. There will always be bumps. Bumps keep coming along. It's about riding those bumps. So if you look at how most successful, I say, entrepreneurs have started out, you'll see that, you know, everyone keeps going despite those obstacles. There is no successful person out there that hasn't been through difficult circumstances, because that's life and we're all human. So, you know, try and be a bit easy on yourself about the bumps. You know, they will happen, but know that they happen to everybody and you can overcome them. Now, the fourth mindset key breakthrough is to see setbacks as opportunities. So when faced with a setback, there is always a hidden opportunity in there. So a while ago, when I started out in my business, you know, I was ticking along. I was building my business up as a side hustle. And I wasn't quite ready to give up the job. I thought I will transition from one to the other, because I was a single parent at that time, so I've left my marriage, wasn't particularly in secure housing. Didn't really want to be taking massive amounts of risks. I'd already invested heavily in business coaching, all on the credit card. That again, that's another story. That's for another podcast. But then I lost my job. So I've been building up this business. It wasn't quite ready to launch. I wasn't ready to do really what I thought I was going to be ready, but I had to turn that setback of losing my job and not having a wage coming in the following month into an opportunity. It was the opportunity to launch my business. It was the opportunity not to quit. It was the opportunity to stop comparing what I'd created to everybody else. And it was the opportunity towards taking action. So I looked at the setback. I thought it's actually the opportunity to put the first 3 mindset shifts really into action. Take the action. Don't compare what I'd done, which wasn't ready, with what other people had done. And don't give up. I could have think, right, it's too hard. I could have gone, I'm going to have to go and get another job. I'm not ready to launch my business, which actually was really procrastination. I was ready. And so I launched. So I took that setback of redundancy and turned it into an opportunity. Now, the final thing, that the final mindset, the key mindset shift in successful entrepreneurs, is that they are serious, very, very serious about studying marketing, because selling is an art form. You're not trying to, when you're involved, particularly like I am in soul business coaching, the women who come to work with me, they have a dream. It's like a seed inside them. It wants to burst forth into life. They want to create a life where they can live through their talents. They can create their heart's desire, and they can serve the needs of their community. So the act of selling is a sacred duty, because there are people out there who need what you have. They're looking out there in the wilderness of the internet, and there is no voice hitting them. It's not resonating with their soul, because that's one of the reasons why I work with the soul of the business, because the soul of your business, its values, its characteristics speak to the soul of your client. It hits them. It's something that they feel. And this is why I love working with the soul of your business. So the art of conveying those values and the characteristics, if you like, of the world of your business. You create a world, an ecology that they will enter. So if you have a product or service that will transform that person's life, and they're out there looking for you, you owe it to your audience to effectively sell it to them. You're not trying to sell them something that they don't need or don't want. You are saying, this is what is missing in your life. And through this exchange of money, which is energy, I can help you achieve that. But, you know, for them to buy into that, you know, they have to put some skin in the game. They have to put money in because that's their vested interest in achieving that outcome. So those are the 5 mindset shifts that you can cultivate. So just to recap, number 1 is a bias towards taking action. Don't sit there thinking about it, wondering, talking about it, reading it, downloading another freebie, doing more research. Just get on with it. Number 2 is don't compare yourself to other people. We're all different. We're all unique. We all have our own talents. Don't worry what the next person is doing. You know, I could sit here and look at my, rather large tummy that I've got at the moment with 2 cesarean scars. And I could say, well, I can't pose on a beach in a bikini and a thong. That's not me anyway. That's just not the marketing that I would do. So don't compare yourself to other people. Don't give up. Never give up. Life's too short. There's too much you want to achieve. There's too much joy to experience. And if you give up, you end up retracting and living a small life in a closed box. And I can probably guarantee, the biggest regrets in life are not that we didn't buy the big car or we didn't, have so much money sat in the bank. It's actually the biggest regrets, the experiences we never had, the things we never said to people. So take the bull by the horns and go out there and live. Doesn't matter if you fall flat on your face. It doesn't matter if you fail. That's just part of the setbacks, which brings me on to point number 4. Setbacks can be an opportunity, and you will always hit setbacks and bumps in the road. It's just how you deal with them. But if you put the first 3 mindset shifts into action, the setbacks become much easier to deal with. And finally, shift your mindset around selling. It is a sacred duty that if you have the tools and the skills to meet those person's needs, so that they can live a life of freedom and abundance, or they can achieve the weight loss or dress how they want, or they can do whatever it is they dream of doing. If you have the skill set to help them do that, that is a sacred duty. You owe it to them to learn how to sell your stuff, to get visible and to be seen. So that's me done for today. This has been Soul Companion. First time I've recorded it as a video for YouTube, so I hope you've enjoyed that. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. And again, if you're watching this as a podcast, recorded podcast, like, subscribe, and I will see you all again very soon. Take care then. Bye.